Hey everyone, Brad and Marissa McCrory here with Equip 210 ILM. ILM short for Wilmington. YouTube video number 3.
Whoa.
Drop your phone.
Stuff.
Keeping it real. I'm not editing that out. And interesting question today as we were praying through like what to talk about today. It hit me that we're seeing this kind of transformation and evolution in education. And I asked myself the question, like, why aren't more parents making drastic changes in education? And it hit me that oftentimes we're so busy with what's in front of us that it's tough to see 10 years down the road. And I go back to my own education experience where like now, I've started multiple 7-figure businesses. I do management consulting. I consult businesses that are doing $50 to $100 million, like successfully. We've launched a school, but yet I had an experience in high school where I had a teacher literally tell me that I shouldn't go to college and then I'm probably going to run a machine for the rest of my life. I think when I took one of those career placement tests, I was like told I was supposed to be an airplane mechanic, which if anybody, it's funny, if anybody knows me, if that would have happened, if that would have happened, airlines would have gone out of business.
There would have been a lot of
things would have been crashing. Wouldn't have been good.
You can barely use a drill. I mean, that's not your thing. You can use a drill, but I'm being a little dramatic. And I'm not being unkind. He agrees. He's not the fix-it kind of guy.
We love handymen.
Yes, we're very grateful.
So my point being is like, what defines success? And then we started Equip 210 because we asked ourselves the question: if we continually go down the same path that we've been going down, are our kids going to be ready? And so what defines success? Like, what things do we want our kids when they turn 18 years old to be able to know? Let's have this conversation, and then like if we have time, let's talk through like is the current educational system actually delivering on that? So like question for the day, like, and parents, like, this is okay, this is your opportunity to pause, maybe pause the video and just ask yourself the question, like, what do I want my kids to have in their arsenal when they turn 18 years old as a person, etc. So
I mean,
what do you think?
So many things. First and foremost, as believers, that Jesus is central in their life, and not the Bible isn't just a subject, it is central to our belief system. And that worship is part of our daily life, that our heart position should be longing for more of him, and that like character things, that come alongside that, like kindness and the fruit of the Spirit. Like if we just need a guide, let's go back to the Word. The fruit of the Spirit would be things. And even as we had our kids in some Christian schools, I almost feel like the bullying and the unkindness was worse.
It was,
and so that is a huge issue, and something that we culturally talk about here. We actually are just talking about it today.
Maybe we'll record another video called the lack of excellence in Christianity.
Yeah.
So poke. It's my poke for the day.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So those things are really central and at the top of my mind that we talk about a lot.
Yeah, no, those are good. So that's I like to look at things in segment, things into pillars. That's spirituality. But let me ask you this: like, if someone is not a believer, and by the way, we fully believe that Jesus is King and He's at the center of everything we do. But if somebody, just objectively thinking of the masses that are in school, is not a follower of Jesus today, like, take some of the constructs of Christianity. What are some of those core values that the kids can learn, and that just equate to like behavior or mindset to success in life?
So are you saying like character-wise, or more of like tangible skills? Yeah,
like if I don't recognize Jesus as Lord, which He is, but what are some things that through experience in Christ and understanding the Bible, that taking the spirituality things, that would equip a child to have a more fruitful adult life?
So I think like even the topic of knowing how to handle money and finances, so a really important skill, and something that we get to do as I mean, all humans get to do, but as part of the kingdom, like learning how to be above reproach with our finances and how to have a budget and not live outside of our means and to handle it with honor and integrity and to multiply it.
Learning how to make sure it's not our God.
Also that your heart
posture,
position
yeah,
is that it is a tool to be used in the hands of good people.
Yep.
And how to multiply money and wealth and our giftings. That's top of mind for me.
Okay, great. So let's move on. So spiritual equipment totally makes sense. In our school system today, do you feel like if you took 80 to 90% of the educational experience is available in the United States, do you feel like that's being achieved?
No.
I don't know why you took so long to say no. Okay.
It's definitely not.
That is a trick
I was trying
question.
to be kind, I guess.
I agree 100%. And so next side of things, like what else do we want success to look like for our kids? And I think maybe I'll start there a little bit as we kind of expand. But and I'll actually answer in question form so that you can kind of reflect on this as a parent. Is my kid going to have a marketable skill that is actually something they're truly gifted at, that will allow them to make a meaningful impact to society? Not just get by, not like, I just hope my kids move out of my house eventually at some point instead of being 32 years old playing Madden in the basement while ordering Chinese food on a Sunday, but like legit, do they have a marketable skill that that can grow and be beneficial for them? I think that's one. Two, like, do they have the social and emotional skills to be a functioning, not just functioning, but a leader as a human being? I think that's big. I see so many times in business where adult professionals in their 40s can't have a civil conversation and navigate a disagreement to a point of understanding that sometimes as an adult I have to put away my preferences for a bigger cause. And there's just so many leadership things that are there, and I'll be just brutally honest, like that is definitely not being taught in any schools, because I think this is the model that we look at here at Equip 210. Like, when you have underappreciated, underpaid, and understaffed and ill-equipped educators, it's not their fault, but the outcome of that is typically going to produce that. And then when you look at some of the other things that we're battling in the U.S., primarily I would say fatherlessness.
Yes,
where,
that's a huge issue.
Yeah, where you don't have that voice that can overcome anything. Like, it's hopefully the schools will do a good job raising our kids because the family's broken and all of the things, and it's just, it feels like a spiral. So I think that's another thing, just being able to have a good foundation of being a healthy human being. And I think that would be my encouragement to parents, is like, it's not too late. Like, I think, I think what we're starting to realize is the legacy that you leave your kids is oftentimes helping them be whole people so that they can build on top of your shoulders, versus having to start from scratch. But what else?
Good. Well, I mean, I like what you said, just to recap, like having leadership capabilities, knowing how to handle disagreements. It's in the Bible. But I find that, I mean, even myself have been super guilty of it in the past, to be kind of more passive aggressive and not just confront things just because of, my own past wounds or how it was modeled for me and from my parents in my home. So like, all those things equal a equipped future human adult that, like, I even see, unfortunately, the secular marketplace like do better currently than the church is doing. And so I would like to see that, whether they're called to the marketplace or not, that whatever they choose to do, that they are equipped to be healthy emotionally, healthy spiritually, and also equipped to not be afraid to do things like speak in front of a group of people or confront something that bothered them in a kind but also truthful way. And then skills like innovation and creativity. I believe that we should be leading that as believers of the kingdom.
Yes.
We have access with the most creative being ever. And I think we should be leading in industries like art and science and music and technology. Like, I also will say, like, technology is a big one that I think a lot of Christians are kind of like fearful of. And I think we need to equip our kids to have the right heart and be cunning around utilizing things to advance the kingdom, because it can also be just like money. Technology can be a tool yielded for good.
I see oftentimes people, it's like the verse, God will use all things for good. It's like, well, we'll accept that. Well, no, that's not what the Bible says. Like, He'll actually use all things for good. And so, no, I think that's really great. I think the last thing, just to add on to that, is I think that, and I just got some revelation as we're talking here, that I think the other thing that would be great for our kids to be equipped to when they turn 18 is to have some grit.
Yes.
But a different kind of grit than what you even know in me. I don't think it's as much of like, and I do think the ability to persevere and to be able to take pain and to like deal with tough things is important. But I would even argue and go a step further and say the ability to just have a different perspective. Like the ability to have something that the world would perceive as a failure or pain, but that we've done the work to understand who we are in Christ Jesus, where we just kind of know that's part of the process, and we understand that He's pruning us because he has providence over our life, that there's some type of greater calling that we're supposed to be walking into, and like those are the small little things where He needs to pull something out of us so He can put something into us, and that's just not currently something that I see. I've been coach sports, so we have and being in kids ministry and just having a lot of exposure to kids in the kind of 8 to 15-year-old realm. Oftentimes, you know, when I'm having hard conversations with kids that age, you can see on their face that it's the first male voice that they've had to actually challenge them into something a little bit more. So I think it comes back to some of the fatherlessness, but it's like, when that's the case in our society, like I ask the question, like, our kids are in an educational environment for 40 to 50 hours a week. Why can't that be the solution to fix things? Why can't those 8 hours a day be there to minister to our kids and to help create healthy children, which then actually encourage their parents that may not have been, you know, crushing it to do better and to do more. So I think grit would be something else that I feel like would be something that would help our next generation quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else?
No, I felt like this is such a good conversation, and I hope it encourages everyone out there to consider some of these things and get purposeful and intentional around it for your family and your education experience. And really it impacts lots of different spheres of your life when you think about the overarching themes we talked about. But to get more intentional around that is like what will help shift things.
Yeah, so I think if you guys haven't watched any of our videos yet, and you start to watch and follow us and subscribe, that you'll find that we feel like Equip 210 is not just an educational program for kids, but we really do want to help create family units that are healthy again, and this is our avenue to be able to do that. So comment in the video, like, share, subscribe. You can visit us at Equip 210, which is 210wilmington.com, and we would love to hear from you.